So good evening friends, welcome to Malhotra's IAS. So guys, this is the evening session that we conduct every day in the morning. In this we are going to cover business line newspaper, the relevant content from business line newspaper. So this is what we will be covering here. So Mohit, good evening. Priyanka, good evening. So here we are about to start the session. Just give me a minute. I'll start the session. So the PDF for this particular session, the evening session, has already been uploaded. You can download the PDF from our Telegram group. Okay. So whatever is relevant in the newspaper will be covered by us. And let's start the session without wasting much time. Let's see what exactly is there for us in today's business line editorials. Okay, so today luckily there was nothing much regarding the editorials, but we are going to look into some of the news aspects. Okay, कुछ एक news के बारे में ज़रूर हम लोग cover करेंगे, which will help you a lot. Okay, so in today's agenda we are going to look into this news that UNDP plastic waste scheme may soon cover 100 cities in India. Okay, so we are going to cover this particular news, plastic waste. Other is regarding this particular development that India cannot meet the net zero emission without the nuclear power. Okay, again this is important for us. Both the topics are important for us. Okay, and the third news that we will look into is regarding this, that Supreme Court clears government plan to enforce countermeasures. Okay, so here we will look into the debate regarding, see what Supreme Court is doing. So you should know that there is separation of power. हमारे यहाँ पे separation of power है. Okay, Supreme Court, the major task is to adjudicate. उनका काम है adjudicate करना, बट यहाँ पे वो executive के लिए instruction लेके आ रहे हैं. Okay, they are coming out with instructions for executive. So the question here is that is this judicial overreach? क्या आपको ये judicial overreach नजर आती है? So this is the debate that we will look into. इसको थोड़ा वो जानेंगे. So this is the agenda that we have for the day. Okay, so let's start the session with this particular news, which is regarding UNDP's plastic waste scheme may soon cover 100 cities. Okay, so this scheme is going on already. It is in India, चल रही है यहाँ पे. Why it is required that you have to increase the number of cities? Okay, so presently you will get good statistics from this particular editorial. ये आप अपने notes में डाल लेना, बहुत अच्छे statistics मिलेंगे, because question can be asked in your GS paper 3. Okay, so for that you will get a good content, अच्छा content मिलेगा आपको. So this scheme, UNDP scheme, United Nations Development Program, like it aims to triple its plastic waste management to 100 cities by 2024. Okay, because the situation is really alarming in India. आप एक बार देखते हैं क्या हो रहा है. So in India, many towns and cities which are often ranked among the world's most polluted. Okay, because we don't have organized management of plastic waste in India. बहुत बुरे हाल होते हैं, हमें पता है कैसे जो है. स्पेसिफिकली इफ यू लुक इनटू द अर्बन फ्लडिंग, अब देखो अर्बन फ्लडिंग का प्लास्टिक के साथ क्या लेना देना है, ठीक है ना. इफ यू लुक इनटू द अर्बन फ्लडिंग दैट इज गोइंग ऑन राइट नाउ, बी इट दिल्ली, बी इट चेन्नई, बी इट मुंबई. ओके, सो ऑल योर स्टॉर्म ड्रेनेज, जो भी स्टॉर्म ड्रेन होती हैं आपकी, हमारी जितनी भी, ओके, देर आर लाइक इंस्टेंसेस वेयर दे आर चॉक्ड ड्यू टू प्लास्टिक. प्लास्टिक की वजह से वो सब जो है चौक हो जाते हैं, रुक जाती हैं. एंड वी हैव सीन दिस. ओके, that's the major problem for us. So right now there are statistics which are available that UNDP program, which began in 2018, has so far collected 83,000 tons of plastic waste. Now India generates about 3.4 million ton of plastic waste annually. Okay, this is the stat that you can note it down. ये आप अपने आंसर में यूज करना, that India generates about 3.4 million ton of plastic waste annually. This is the official estimate that we have. So other silver lining in this is that about 60% of the plastic is recycled. Okay, but 40% it is still going to cause major pollution. बहुत ज़्यादा pollution होगा, जो बचा कुचा 40% है उससे भी. That's the major concern for us. Okay, government needs to make strict enforcement on the controls and the dumping of plastic waste. There is no doubt about it. But how will you implement it? You have solid waste management rule. Okay, आपके यहाँ पे solid waste management rule है. solid waste में plastic भी cover हो जाता है, ठीक है ना. solid waste management rule. The point here is that what about its implementation? What about its implementation? Do we have any parliamentary debate and discussion? क्या आपने कभी सुनी है कि आपके पार्लियामेंट में कभी डिबेट हो रही है इसके ऊपर, that whether we have solid waste management rule, whether they are effective or not? कभी आपने सुना है आपका पार्लियामेंट डिस्कस कर रहा हो इस चीज को? So this is the ground reality that we have, and that's why whole issue of solid waste management, plastic handling has been neglected by our government. बिल्कुल ये निगलेक्ट हो जाता है. That's the major concern for us. Okay, now, oh, apart from this, look at what COVID has done. Now, COVID, we know that we are going for vaccinations. Okay, so there is lot of medical waste that is being generated. आपका एक मास्क जो आता है, इवन दैट इज ऑल्सो लाइक पैक्ड इन अ प्लास्टिक, वो भी एक प्लास्टिक में ही पैक होता है. तो दिस इज द प्रॉब्लम दैट हैज बीन जनरेटेड बाय कोविड. ओके, दैट अलोंग विद द मेडिकल वेस्ट, द प्लास्टिक वेस्ट हैज इंक्रीज्ड. Plastic waste has increased, and this is how it's a major concern for us, because we know this. If that plastic waste, the medical plastic waste, if it is untreated, अगर उसको बिना ट्रीट किए आप ऐसे ही फेंक दोगे, it can create trouble for others. बहुत ज़्यादा ट्रबल ये क्रिएट कर सकता है. That's the point. Now, apart from that, there are some alarming projections that we have. So, plastic pollution is set to triple by 2040. The United Nations Employment Program has predicted adding 23 to 37 million tons of plastic waste into the world's ocean each year. हर साल 23 to 37 million ton of plastic is been put in oceans. That's the reality that we have. Okay, इतना ज़्यादा प्लास्टिक जो है हम डालते हैं. And apart from that, there are issues of microplast as well. इसके अलावा माइक्रोप्लास्टिक्स की अपनी समस्या है. क्या है वो समस्या? नाउ दोज माइक्रोप्लास्टिक्स दे एंटर द फूड चेन. मछलियां खा जाती हैं उसे. ओके, दे एंटर द फूड चेन एंड लेटर वी कंज्यूम फिशेस. उनको मछलियां खाएंगी और ह्यूमंस मछलियों को खाएंगे. ओके, सो दिस इज हाउ इट्स अ ट्रबल फॉर अस. हमें ही नुकसान हो रहा है इस चीज का. ठीक है ना? सो वो एक अपने आप में एक समस्या है. सो होल दिस डिबेट इज गोइंग ऑन. यू हैव टू डू अ लॉट. बहुत दूर की जो हमें सोचना पड़ेगा. Enforcement is the key. We have to make sure that whatever rules we are going to make, those rules should be implemented in letter and spirit. अब बात करने से बात नहीं बनेगी, कुछ करके दिखाना पड़ेगा. That's the point here. So we'll move to the next news regarding the use of nuclear power, okay, and the future of nuclear power in India. देखो, मोदी जी ने बोल दिया by 2070 we are going to achieve net zero. अच्छा, कैसे होगा? Okay, question is that how Modi ji is going to achieve this. Now, in this, Mr. Kakodkar, he is a renowned person. He is saying this particular thing, that without exploring nuclear power, बिना nuclear power को explore करे, okay, without exploring nuclear power, we seriously cannot deal with this. हम बिल्कुल भी इसके साथ डील नहीं कर सकते हैं. ठीक है ना? So they are saying that if we serious about net zero emission, that it cannot be done without using the nuclear power. Okay, this is what has been suggested by Dr. Anil Kakodkar. So other part is that what is the pace of nuclear power development in India? भाई आपके यहाँ पे nuclear power development का pace क्या चल रहा है? That's another question mark. Are we serious about it? कितने सीरियस हैं? So Mr. Kakodkar observed that while cost of solar power at a point has declined, okay, but if one included the cost of measures to maintain grid stability, अब देखो grid stability कैसे, during the you can say evening time solar might not be available, वो available नहीं होगा. Further, solar has a limitation, solar की अपनी limitation है. Immediately आपको अगर लगा that manufacturing sectors और industrial sectors they are demanding more energy, एकदम से डिमांड बढ़ गई, तो सोलर की लिमिटेशन है. सोलर प्लांट को एक्सपैंड करने में टाइम लगेगा. That's the major trouble that we have. Okay, so here he is saying that in this scenario nuclear power could alone provide low cost power and help in grid balancing. एकदम से पावर बढ़ गई घट गई तो आप न्यूक्लियर रिएक्शन को तेज कर दो. Okay, you have the solution with you. You have the solution with you. You have the way out with you. This is what has been suggested here. Now, further, he is saying that current pace of nuclear power rollout is not good enough. Okay, so whatever vision that our government is having to expand the nuclear power, we are really moving at a really slow speed. So right now India is operating 23 reactors with the total capacity of 7480 megawatt. Okay, this is really very less. Why I am saying this? France is managing 75% of its electricity from nuclear. Okay, countries बहुत आगे बढ़ चुके हैं. So government is expecting that India is going to have near about 22,480 megawatt by 2031. So this means that we are going to increase it to 3 times. इसको हम 3 times करेंगे. So if this is our target, increasing it by 3 times, then the present pace is highly inadequate. उसको देखते हुए आज की आपकी पहली जो पेस चल रही है वो बहुत ही स्लो है, ठीक है ना. And this is the time Mr. Kakodkar is saying that like पहले ऐसा होता था where fuel was not available in India. कोई हमें fuel नहीं देता था. So right now this is not the case. The availability of fuel is there. Okay, this is not an issue. Then why we are not going ahead with our nuclear programs? Okay, nuclear reactor program. That's the point here. Okay, so now like he's saying that we like our domestic production of uranium is also gone up. Okay, we are importing uranium from abroad. Kazakhstan, Canada, they all are sharing uranium with us. They are all are supplying uranium to us. So the uranium is not more a problem. Okay, domestically भी हम बना रहे हैं, बाहर से भी लेके आ रहे हैं. So other idea is that technology has also gone up. So when you talk about nuclear technology, nuclear reactor specifically, so here it is said that now it is possible to make nuclear power more flexible. You can make your nuclear power plant more flexible. What does this mean by flexibility? कैसे है? It means that its capacity can be raised or lowered as per the demand. Demand के according आप ऐसा कर सकते हो. Winter months, okay, so demand will be less, power demand will be less. So in that time you can reduce down the capacity. So in summers when the power demand will peak, you can again increase the capacity. So this is how it is suggesting that we have this mechanism of flexible nuclear power plants. And this is a really good development. Okay, so we have live example like France where 75% of the energy is met by the nuclear plants. Okay, so if they can do it, we can also do it. Now other important area of focus is regarding the small sized nuclear reactors. Okay, so he is saying that small modular reactors, they are the future. Okay, future हमारा small modular reactor का है. 700 1000 megawatt के हमें reactor नहीं चाहिए. So there he is saying that in future you will have reactors between 100 megawatt to 300 megawatt of capacity. Okay, this is the future of nuclear energy. So Kakodkar is also saying that these small modular reactors, they can replace okay the thermal reactors. जो हमारे thermal coal based plants हैं उनको तो replace कर सकते हैं. Okay, other point is he is making that these small modular reactor, they can be placed on the sites vacated by the retired coal power plants. जहां जहां पे आपके coal power plants retire हो चुके हैं, okay, those are non functional, where there we can come out with these reactors. वहां पे हम ये small modular reactor लगा सकते हैं. Okay, this is what we can do and this is really a good you can get suggestion. आप fossil fuel coal से इतना ज़्यादा धुआं होता है, pollution होता है, so you can replace them with nuclear reactor and we have this solution, small modular reactor. Okay, वो हमारे पास already available है. So this is the point here. Now apart from that, he is making another argument regarding the production of green hydrogen. So we already know this particular fact. Green hydrogen किसको बोलते हैं? In which the electricity or say process is from non-fossil, you can say, source or is from clean source. जहां से एनर्जी का सोर्स आपका क्लीन होगा तो उसे ग्रीन हाइड्रोजन बोलेंगे, बिकॉज द प्रोडक्शन ऑफ हाइड्रोजन रिक्वायर्स लॉट ऑफ एनर्जी, लॉट ऑफ इलेक्ट्रिसिटी इज बीइंग यूज्ड हियर. सो हियर मिस्टर काकोदकर इज सेइंग दैट न्यूक्लियर रिएक्टर प्रोवाइड्स हाई टेम्परेचर. ओके, so this high temperature can be used to generate heat which could be used for thermochemical splitting of water into hydrogen and oxygen. So this can be used for thermochemical splitting of water into hydrogen and oxygen. This is the important thing that we can achieve, and that's why we can say that nuclear reactor, nuclear based power can also be used for the generation of green hydrogen. ये इसका एक additional application है जो आपको समझना होगा. Okay. Now next news that we are going to cover is regarding the Supreme Court clears government plan to enforce counter measures. Okay, so right now दिल्ली में एकदम pollution बढ़ गया है. Okay, so ideally if we go by the say प्रिंसिपल ऑफ सेपरेशन ऑफ पावर, देखो हमारे यहाँ पे इंडिया के अंदर सेपरेशन ऑफ पावर है. ओके, देयर इज नो डाउट अबाउट इट. ठीक है, सो इफ वी गो बाय द प्रिंसिपल ऑफ दिस सेपरेशन ऑफ पावर, So definitely the Supreme Court should not, you can say, pass uh, uh, instructions for the executive. क्यों ये काम जो है एग्जीक्यूटिव को देखना है कि कैसे और क्या डिसीजन होगा. This is the point here. Okay. Now here what Supreme Court is doing. So Supreme Court approved the measures by Center's Air Quality Commission to create enforcement task force and flying squad to prevent and penalize polluters in Delhi NCR. अब मतलब आप ये देखो फ्लाइंग स्क्वाड बनाने हैं. आपने कभी सुना है कि कोर्ट अप्रूव्ड फ्लाइंग स्क्वाड? कभी सुना है? लाइक ड्यूरिंग आवर बोर्ड एग्जाम्स फ्लाइंग स्क्वाड होते हैं जो कि एजुकेशन डिपार्टमेंट बनाता है, सीबीएसई बनाता है. मैंने तो कभी नहीं सुना कि कोर्ट ने जो है फ्लाइंग स्क्वाड बनाया हुआ. सो यहाँ पे एक अजीब सी चीज आ गई है, दैट इज फ्लाइंग स्क्वाड विच विल हैव, लाइक दिस स्क्वाड विल हैव पावर टू पिनलाइज द पोल्यूटर. अब ये म्यूनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन वाले भी ये काम कर सकते हैं. Other important area that we have to look into is regarding this enforcement task force. Now this enforcement task force which will look into the implementation of different measures. Okay, जो भी step होंगे वो लिए जाएंगे, they will look into this. Now this is the important debate, that how you are going to respect the separation of power principle. Because in India, in our system, we have separation of power. It means that judiciary, the major role is to adjudicate. उनका काम है adjudicate करना. The role of the executive is to execute. Okay, इनका काम है execute करना. And legislature is to frame laws. आपके legislature को कानून बनाने हैं, policy बनानी है. Okay, this is what we have. Now this whole exercise to fight against pollution. Okay, देखिए ये pollution के खिलाफ जो लड़ाई है, in this which all entities are going to work. So here you have CPCB, ठीक है, सेंट्रल पोल्यूशन कंट्रोल बोर्ड, उनका रोल आएगा. दिल्ली गवर्नमेंट प्लस ब्यूरोक्रेसी, उनका रोल आएगा. दिल्ली म्युनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन, ओके, दे हैव अ रोल. So in this particular exercise you have to observe one thing, that court has somehow no direct role. Okay, इस फाइट में कोर्ट का कोई डायरेक्ट रोल बनता नहीं है, but still they are indulging in it and they are issuing these statement. So क्या ये violation नहीं होगा separation of power का? That's the fundamental debate that we have to deal here. So you need to understand one thing, there are some circumstances, okay, there are some circumstances which have led to this development, that your court is coming out with decision, कि इस मामले में आपकी कोर्ट जो है उसको डिसीजन सुनाना पड़ रहा है. Why I am saying this? Okay, why I am saying this? Because at the end of the day there is a constitutional duty that your court has to fulfill. कोर्ट की एक constitutional duty है, that is to safeguard the citizen of this country. Okay, to safeguard the fundamental rights of this country. And if we look into the article 21 which has been liberally interpreted by the court, okay, उससे पता लगता है that right to have clean environment, okay, right to have clean environment, pollution free environment, this is the fundamental right under article 21, that is right to life. उसके अंदर जो है ये क्लीन एनवायरनमेंट का होना, ये जो है एक फंडामेंटल राइट है आपका. So in protection of that particular right, Supreme Court is coming out with the instructions, because as citizen of this country we have been, you can say, we are disappointed with our legislature. Okay, हमारे मंत्री तो कहीं दिखते भी नहीं है. We are disappointed with our executive as well. आपके अफसर भी कुछ नहीं करते हैं. Okay, so this is the present reality that we have, and that's why court is issuing instructions for the steps that are to be taken to fight against this pollution. Okay, so this is how the whole development is going on. So this is what we had in today's session. So that's it for the day then. Thank you very much.